Good evening, everybody. Hi, I'm Kerry from Kerry-Rose, the decorative painter. If you're here this evening, then you'll obviously see my little event scheduled. What I'm going to do this evening is I'm going to be working with some Vintage with Grace mineral paint on this little table here. So we'll just wait for a few more people to get on. Hiya, Jeanette. I hope you're well. Hope everybody's had a lovely week this week. It's been a busy old week for me in the workshop, so I'm hoping the signal's going to be strong because I've had a bit of a move round in the, well, I haven't, the other half has, in the garage, in his garage. So my system is all out of sync at the minute, so hopefully everything will go. Hi, Tracy. So yeah, just give me a little wave and let me know that you can hear me and let me know where you're from. If you've watched me before, I can talk, so I will probably won't see your questions very much until the end of it, but I'll try and answer all the questions that we can. I'm hoping Rachel from Vintage with Grace will be on this evening as well. She hopefully might be able to answer some of your questions as well. Hi Deb, nice to see you. We'll just wait for some more guys to come on. So if you've been watching my Facebook this week, any of my videos, any of my TikToks or my Reels or any of my social media, I've been working on a commission for a customer. Lovely bedroom furniture, upcycling her pine bedroom furniture to match her new bedroom decor. And she's got this beautiful green velvet, almost bluey green velvet headboard that we were matching the colours up. So we went for Vintage with Grace colours, and I love the colour that much I decided to use it on my live this evening. And as you can see, this is the lovely colour that we've created. Vintage with Grace is a mineral paint. It's really easy to apply. It's self-levelling and it comes with a little pot of polyvine. So for those of you that really liked this colour, I've had so much brilliant feedback on it and the customer loves it as well. And it's a real favourite of mine as well now. So I'm going to, what we used was Winifred, and I also used Delamere. So I've called it Willamere. That seemed the obvious choice. And literally, both pots went into a big pot and I gave it a great big stir. Hiya, Liz. Gave it a great big stir for ages to make sure it was all mixed up and combined together. And it came out with this really gorgeous colour. So what I'm going to be doing today is showing you how to paint pour. With the Vintage with Grace. Vintage with Grace has got some fabulous metallics and I've used them today. If you can see the paint pour, we've got the coppers and the golds, and I will be showing you how to use those with Floetrol, which is a really good product that you can add that helps lengthen your process of your paint. So what we'll do is we'll get started. So literally, I've spray painted the bottom with a spray paint. We like a little cheat now and again. And then I spray painted an undercoat with a Rust-Oleum grey to prime it. Because it's got a leather top on it, I wanted to make sure that the leather was going to be, the leather was in good nip, but it was the wrong colour. So I wanted to make sure that the paint was going to stick to it. So what I actually used was a Rust-Oleum spray surface primer, which is brilliant. It's great. So if you're doing a writing bureau or anything with a leather top, if you spray this on before you paint, it's really good because your paint will adhere to it, and you get a nice finish over the leather as well. So it gives it a nice smooth finish. And then I used, for the base, which is this lovely gold, and I shouldn't really be lifting that, is a new gold. So if anybody wants to, if you spray paint any of your gold hinges or your gold knobs or anything, we're not allowed to say knobs, draw pulls. If anybody is respraying anything, there's this, I've got it from Crown, our decorating place, and it's called WRX Effect Spray. It's fabulous. I've it's been really good. It's given me a really lovely gold over wood or metal. And as you can see, it's got a really lovely gold sheen. It's a nice flat finish, but it's a nice gold. So I've been using that. So literally 2 coats of the Vintage with Grace paint over the table, over the primer. And what we're going to do is do the paint pour. So on the top, if anybody's done a paint before, knobs, yes, Georgina, gold knobs. You're a knobs. We like knobs, don't we? So I've taped it off now. I rush taping. I'm not very good with taping. It bores the life out of me. But I've taken my time this evening, and I've taped it all off around the corners because I don't want the paint pour to go on there. And then what I did is literally around the seal here, I took a little bit of PVA glue, just kids' white PVA glue, which was a tip from one of the girls in the workshop. And I put it on my finger and literally went round the seal of the tape, and it gives it a nice crisp finish. So when you take it off, you get a nice line, and that's what we're trying to do. I can see all these laughing faces because we're talking about knobs. Yes, I know. Is that what we're still giggling at? Yeah, it's been a running thing all week, hasn't it, knobs? We like it. It's good fun. Right, so colours that we've chose are the gold and the copper. If anybody's used Vintage with Grace metallics, I'm blown away by these. These are really good, and I've used most brands now, and they've got really good depth, really good pigment, and they've got a lovely finish to it. So I've done the knobs, the draw pulls, the pine draw pulls on the drawers that I've been doing this week in the gold, and they've come up really lovely. They're really, really nice. It's a bit thicker than normal, but that's not a problem. And then we've got the copper. So if I show you these. So copper, it's like a rosy gold, which is really nice, very pretty. So we'll be using that. And also the normal gold, it's just flat gold. I would say it's more of a antique gold, which is really lovely. Yeah, they're lovely metallics, Erica. They're really nice. So you'll be able to see what I do with these. So I've got some ready mixed colours up. Now with Vintage with Grace, when you get the large pot, you get a pot of polyvine. Polyvine is a finish which will help protect your work, and it will obviously seal it in. You get this built in with your paint, but you'll get an extra one also as well, and you literally just apply it on a sponge and take it over, and that will seal your work. So it gives, particularly in high traffic areas, it's really good. I've used polyvine for years, so it's my go-to finish. So the little bottles that it comes with, I've kept these. Hi Linda. I've kept these little bottles so I can make my paint pours. So what I did was the gold, the copper, and I put some blue in, some of the teal, or the Wilma, whatever we're calling her. And this is literally, I'm going to show you, if anybody's used Floetrol before, this is how you get your paint pour. This is how you get your paint to drag, to get a nice finish. It waters it down a little bit, but it keeps the pigment, and it's been the best product that I add to my toolkit. And I get it from a crown decorating shop. It's brilliant. It's called an extender, and you can use it in all types of paint. And that is it. So I'll pop that in the description at the end. So 50-50 is what we will do, is what you do. And you would just literally, I'm going to go with the copper because it's a bit runny. So my little ironing cup. Literally a little bit of paint. And then it's like a bit of Blue Peter, this is today. And just who else is on. Right, and then a little bit of Floetrol. And I'm going to go 50-50 on this. So there we go. and we'll give it a little mix. Give it a mix with a spoon. It doesn't change the colour at all whatsoever, so you'll be able to see here. So look, the colour is exactly the same. It doesn't change it one little bit, so it's fabulous. So you're not watering down your product. What you're doing is you're extending the life of it. It changes the consistency somehow. It's a bit of chemistry that I'm not quite sure how that works. So yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. So then I would pour that into my little pot here, but I've got sufficient in here ready made up. And then I've got the gold. So I'm just going to make some room so you can see. If you can, hopefully everybody can see. You need a ruler, your colours of choice, and some gloves. Definitely need your gloves because it's dead messy, but it's loads of fun. It's good fun. And a hairdryer to hand and possibly a water spray. Has anybody done a paint pour before? Let me know if you have. I did one with chalk paint years ago with Annie Sloan chalk paint, and it took me forever to dry, not realising that I needed to water down. It was like about this thick on the top of a table, and I had to sand it back loads. But they sold, it was similar to this actually. They were yellow, they were lovely. So this is what we're going for. A marbly effect. You've done one as well, have you, Linda? Fabulous. So we're going, it's a really lovely copper because it's like yeah, it's proper copper. I love paint pour. So can we see? Oh, look at that. Right, so it's all laid up ready. Can everybody see it okay? Yes, you did a pink one, purple, silver on the Lubish chest of drawers. You did, Michelle, actually. I remember seeing that. It was lovely. It was great. Right, I'm wondering if I should lower you down a bit. Let's see. I'm going to lower you down so you get a better view. Right, there we go. So when I do a paint pour, I will use my ruler to drag it so you get a smooth. If anybody saw the Audrey Hepburn that I put on my page this week, and also the pop art cocktail cabinet I did a while back as well with the Aussie decor. So when you're doing your paint pour, you need to think about what's going to be your top colour, your base colour and your middle colour. And for me, my base colour is going to be my copper. So that's the colour that I need to go on first. So I'm going to literally start we give it a bit of shake. It's got a bit of a lump in. Oh yeah, the one in the background. That's what I did my very first live on, Linda. I've not finished it yet. That's the one with the Anaglypta wallpaper. Yeah, I'm going to finish that this weekend. I need to sort some bits out on it, and then that's going to go up listed. It's really, really lovely, the Anaglypta paper. It's come up really nice. And also paint couture glaze that was, so yeah. Right, so that's thinned it out. So make sure you keep it moving so it thins out a little bit, because we're getting a few lumps which we don't want. This is my creative. It's meant to be like that, lumpy. You've not seen it. You need to go and have a look, Linda. You'd love it. It's very glitzy. It's very you. And literally just sporadically put your colours wherever you want them. And this sounds really gross as well. So yeah. I've got some really big squeegee bottles, which are really good to use as well. So already you're getting a little bit of a pour, but when I start adding the blue and a little bit of water, you will see that you get more direction on it. And then we'll put the hairdryer on as well, which sends a bit of wind to it. Hi, Ari. Yeah, it's really cool. This is. It's a really cool little trick. You get a really nice finish. So you've got to let gravity do its magic as well. Right, I'm just going to let gravity work on it a little bit. Without the Floetrol, it wouldn't go. You'd have to put a lot of water in it to thin it down. So at the minute, you can see it's just gently seaming. So you're getting the colour mixes together, which is really nice. And then what I'm going to do is just put a mist of water. Not too much, just enough to give it a little bit of lube. Lube and knobs. My God, it's all happening on a Friday night here. You want to do one through a culling day? Yeah, I've done that. That's really cool, that is. So look, uses a lot of paint though, Linda. That's the problem. So we're going to let that work a little bit. So how is everybody? Has everybody been working hard this week, have they? I've never seen this before. I'm just trying to catch up on all the comments. Let's have a look. I reckon I saw that piece from last week. No, it's not last week. Oh, yeah, the gold one was from last week. That's right, Erica. It's lovely. I love it. Right, so literally with a ruler, you can use anything. A ruler or a wooden spatula. You know, your any paint spatula, anything. And literally, the reason I use a ruler is because it's hard and I'm a bit rough. So, literally, pop your whatever you're going to use, literally on. So if you've almost got like a sucking motion, and then literally you just drag it down to any direction that you want, and you're going to get this rippled marble effect. And because you've got the little grooves in the leather, it's going to go into all the little, you'll get all the nice features of where the paint sits in the leather. And you just take your time with it. It's loads of fun actually. You could get the kids to do this at Christmas. Any areas that you've missed with your excess paint that's left on your spatula, you can just go over. And because it's already marbled on your spatula, you get that effect. Can everybody see? And you've got to trust the process here as well. Can everybody see? So literally, I smudged that too much. And then you just pop your hairdryer on it. So you can do this with any paint, chalk paint, mineral paint, any type of paint that you have, you can do it with. You like blowing through straws and flicking it with toothbrushes? We're talking about painting now, are we, Linda? I've done whole dining room tables with this effect. And then put a really couple of coats of polyvine over the top in the satin finish, and it just looks like a slice of marble. And then we just let that dry. So we'll leave that to dry, and hopefully the plan is when we remove the tape, we won't get as much residue left around the seams. And literally all we'll be able to do then is just wipe off the excess and then leave it to dry. So you get a really nice finish. So if anybody likes messy painting, this is the job for you. And then all I will have to do then is with the wipe is just literally wipe off the excess around the edges. Because it's had a little bit of PVA glue on, it just wipes off easily. And then I can just go around touching up anything if I need to. So you get that nice effect there. I don't know whether, see if I can bring you in. If you can see where all the inlay is of the leather original print, you get all that nice effect. So it all goes in there, settles in. And then if you put a nice sheen on it, a nice couple of coats of satin finish, you get a really nice sheen, so it looks like marble over the top. But it just takes a while to dry because of the Floetrol in it. Has anybody got any questions they want to ask me? There we go. I've just noticed your paintbrush is drying rack. I know, it's so cool. My boyfriend made me that. He's really clever. There's a wheel off next door's waiting in the tip for the the tap man. That's the word I was looking for. And I asked him to grab it and he whacked a chain on it for me, and there you go. It's an easy way to dry your brushes, to be fair. I'm terrible. I'm like the devil with my brushes. So, yeah. So has anybody got any questions they'd like to ask me? Can you see it okay? Where are you working? I'm in the boyfriend's garage. Shh. I'm in the garage, yeah. Because I've got no signal, Linda, at work. I'm waiting for BT to get a signal for us. So yeah, it's a pain. It's awesome. So that was really simple, very quick, very effective. A nice bit of detail on the top of something. And it's not cost anything. You've used your paint that you've already got. Floetrol's really inexpensive. And it's bespoke. Nobody else is going to have one of these. There you go. Can you see okay? What does everybody think? Good, bad, thumbs up, thumbs down? So that's with the Vintage with Grace paint. And that's the custom blend that we've made. So definitely wear your gloves with it. So what I should do now is lift that up. Because it's self-levelling, it will find its level as well. So we'll get a nice smooth finish. So I shall lift that up. Ooh. Wipe off any excess. And then I'll be able to touch up where my paint is, where it's gone. So, there we go. And that will level off now, and that'll be self-leveling. How does that look? Prettiness. Never would have mixed gold and copper. It looks good, doesn't it? Yeah. It looks, and if you think, because the gold is on the base, and then we will have gold handles, because I tried loads of different pairs of handles on it. These are the original ones, and I was going to put some crystal or something different, but they just were sticking out like a kid with big jug ears. Sorry if anybody's got a child with big jug ears. But they didn't look right. They look too big. So I sprayed these gold the same colour as this. And it looks really lovely against the copper. So when I add those, on, they should look really nice. It looks quite elegant. In fact, I could do with another one of these nails. I bet they'd be lovely as a pair. So I'm just looking for my little sponge. No, I haven't got a sponge. So literally, I use the satin polyvine, clear satin over the top. I'm looking around for a sponge and I haven't got one, an applicator. So you can apply this with a sponge applicator and this will seal it, seal the top of it there. And I was going to show you on the drawers. But no, that's it. That's how long have I been on? That's that's your paint pour using Vintage with Grace. It's a mineral paint. The two colours that I used were, again, I'll show you again, Winifred and Delamere. And I mixed those together and they came out with the Willamere, which is this colour. And then the paint pour was the copper and gold, 50-50 with the Floetrol. Mixed them up in the little pot and we got that effect, which is lovely. And then we'll pop the gold handles in it and it'll be complete. I'll pop a link in of where you can get your Vintage with Grace from. We do actually stock it at the Vintage Vault. There are other stockists. Hi Helena. There are other stockists, but we do stock it at the Vintage Vault if you want to purchase it. Do you apply Polyvine with a normal sponge or microfiber sponge? Do you know what I use? I use a dishwasher sponge, Georgina, and that's literally what I was looking for. I did think I'd brought one with me, but no, those little sponges that you get 10 in a pack from Wilkinson's, they're £1, and we cut them in half and we use that. That's every sealer that we use, a lacquer, Polyvine lacquer, any type of lacquer, we use those sponges because they've just got a lovely, they're cheap, they're effective, and they don't come off them sticks, which is brilliant. So we use those to apply it with. That's the best thing that we do. And Polyvine self-leveling as well, so if you put the right consistency on, it'll just find its level and flatten out lovely, give you a nice finish. Has anybody else got any more questions they want to ask me? Have you seen it, Helena? Because I know you've just come on. We've done a paint pour. I know you did a paint pour. You didn't do it on a live though, did you? It was when we was on a Zoom. That was great. That should have been a live. That would have been a bloody brilliant live, that would have. Yeah, they're really great colours. Peacock, it's like a peacock colour. I've mixed the two colours up, Delamere and Winifred, but I'll pop them down. I'll write everything down, you use them. Do you, Linda? Yeah, you've got lovely finish on your furniture as well. They are. I think when you've been doing it a long time, you find a lot of things, you don't need as many things. Any trouble with bubbles? No, none whatsoever. If you put sufficient on, if you just dip your brush in, put sufficient on, and then just take it one swoosh across, and it will self level. So yeah, it'll be you shouldn't get any bubbles, and just leave it to settle. Never ever shake your Polyvine. You just swish it like a fine wine is your Polyvine. So you just swish it. So literally, that's all you do. And it won't give you any bubbles, and it'll get all the sediments off the bottom of it as well. So yeah, so that's that. If anybody wants to ask me any more questions, pop it down in the comments. That would be lovely. Much appreciate you coming on. And I've just set up a new group as well, which is my tips and tricks. I don't know, it's something anyway. It's a new group I've set up. That was for yes, it did, it got stuck on your boob, that's right. So you can I will be showcasing all my tips and tricks and techniques on a separate group, and I will be giving information out on everything that I've used, how to do it, the steps that I've taken, ways to save yourself money if you're upcycling for yourself, and you want to, just do your own little thing. So the invites are being sent out. For some reason, Facebook has sent it out without me knowing. I didn't even activate it to go live, but this morning it's had about 30 invites sent out. So this live will be showcased on there as well, and I will be breaking down all the steps, and there'll be some pictures as well to see it. So hopefully, if anybody else wants to ask me any more questions, just pop it down. And if you're watching on replay, thank you, hashtag the replay. And I think that's all. Thank you very much for coming along and watching my Facebook live. Hopefully I'll be on Instagram as well. I'm going to try and do this maybe twice a month. So yeah, hopefully we'll see. But that's lovely. Thanks ever so much, guys, for coming on. Take care. Bye.